Once upon a time, in a small, quiet village, there was a curious boy named Finn. He loved to watch the night sky from his window, staring at the twinkling stars and the big bright moon. Every evening after the village had fallen asleep, Finn would press his nose against the glass and wonder what it would be like to touch the stars or stand on the moon. One night, something strange happened. The moon looked bigger and brighter than ever before, almost as if it was smiling down at him. As Finn stared, something unbelievable began to happen. From the glowing moon, a long, shimmering staircase appeared, stretching down from the sky right into his backyard. The steps sparkled like silver dust, lighting up the dark night. Finn blinked. Was he dreaming? He rubbed his eyes, but the staircase was still there, shimmering and glowing like a magical path to the stars. Finn's heart raced with excitement. He had read about magical things in books, but never thought he would see something like this. The night air was still and quiet, and the village slept soundly. It was just him and the staircase. Finn stood by his window, looking at the glowing steps, thinking about what might be at the top. He could stay safe in his bed, or he could climb the mysterious staircase and see where it led. Finn didn't hesitate for long. With wide eyes and a thumping heart, he crept out of his room, careful not to wake his parents. He slipped on his shoes and tiptoed outside, feeling the cool grass beneath his feet. The staircase seemed even more beautiful up close, each step shining like a silver dream. Taking a deep breath, Finn put his foot on the first step. It felt soft, almost like stepping on a cloud. He took another step, then another. The staircase didn't wobble or shake. It felt strong, like it had been waiting for him. As Finn climbed higher, his house grew smaller, and the stars above him grew brighter. The village was now far below, just a tiny speck in the dark. All he could hear was the soft hum of the night and the gentle twinkling of the stars. Finn climbed and climbed, his heart full of wonder. Where would the staircase take him? What magical place waited at the top? The moon above him glowed softly like a guiding light, welcoming him to a world he had never known. And so Finn continued to climb, not knowing that his greatest adventure had only just begun. Finn stood at the bottom of the shimmering staircase, staring up at the glowing steps that seemed to disappear into the night sky. His heart thudded in his chest, not from running, but from the feeling that something extraordinary was happening. He felt the cool night breeze brush against his face, and for a moment, doubt crept into his mind. What if it's dangerous? What if I never come back? Finn whispered to himself, glancing back at his home. It was so quiet, the windows dark, the streets empty. He knew his parents were fast asleep, and if they knew what he was about to do, they would probably stop him. Finn bit his lip, unsure of what to do next. Part of him wanted to turn around, crawl back into bed and pretend the whole thing was just a dream. But the other part, his curious, adventurous side, wanted to know what was at the top of the staircase. Was there a secret world waiting for him? Would he meet magical creatures or see things no one else had ever seen? His hands trembled, but his feet stayed planted firmly at the base of the stairs. The shimmering light seemed to call to him, like a whisper only he could hear. Come, Finn, don't be afraid. He looked up again. The moon hung above him, glowing softly like a guardian watching over him. Finn swallowed hard, then clenched his fists. He had always wondered about the mysteries of the stars and the moon. Maybe this was his chance to find out. Maybe this was a journey he was meant to take. All right, Finn said quietly, as if answering the moon itself. He took a deep breath, his heart still fluttering, and placed his foot on the first step. The silver light beneath his foot felt warm and welcoming, almost like it had been waiting for him all along. He took another step, then another. Each time he moved, the world below him seemed to fade just a little more. His house, the familiar streets, the village, everything he knew was growing smaller. But with each step, the night sky opened up before him, filled with twinkling stars that seemed to cheer him on. Despite the fear still bubbling in his chest, Finn felt something else rising inside him, a sense of wonder, of excitement. He had no idea where this staircase led, but he was willing to find out. There was no turning back now. Higher and higher he climbed until the village was nothing but a distant memory beneath him. The stars around him were brighter than ever, and the night sky looked like a magical sea of glowing lights. Finn's heart beat faster, not out of fear, but out of pure curiosity. The world he was leaving behind seemed so far away, and yet the unknown world above him felt like a new adventure waiting to be discovered. And so Finn continued to climb, each step taking him further from the familiar and closer to whatever magical place lay ahead. He didn't know what was waiting for him at the top, but that only made him climb faster, eager to see the wonders that were surely just beyond the next glowing step. Finn's legs ached by the time he reached the top of the staircase. He hadn't realized how far he had climbed until he stood at the last step, looking out at something completely new and impossible. It wasn't the moon as he'd expected. Instead, Finn found himself in a world far beyond anything he could have imagined. The sky above him stretched endlessly, filled with stars so bright they seemed close enough to touch. But these weren't the same stars he saw from his bedroom window. They were alive, twinkling and pulsing like glowing creatures, floating around him as if welcoming him into their world. Beneath his feet wasn't solid ground, but a soft, glowing mist that seemed to support him like a cloud. It stretched out in all directions, and scattered across it were floating islands of all shapes and sizes, each one shimmering with its own magical light. Some islands were covered in glittering trees. Others had waterfalls that flowed into the mist below, sparkling as they fell. The air was filled with a soft, humming music like the stars themselves were singing. Finn took a deep breath, feeling the cool, fresh air fill his lungs. It smelled sweet, like flowers in bloom mixed with the crisp scent of nighttime. He had never felt so alive, and yet he was speechless. Was this where the stars lived? Was this the place the moon had wanted him to see? Before he could take another step, a soft glow caught his eye. Something was floating toward him, a small ball of light that shimmered like a tiny star. As it drew closer, the light began to take shape, forming into a little creature with glowing wings and a body made of pure starlight. It was small, no bigger than his hand, and it fluttered in front of him, its glow warm and inviting. "Hello," the creature said in a voice that sounded like a gentle breeze. "My name is Lumen. Welcome to the land of stars." Finn blinked in surprise. "You can talk!" Lumen let out a soft, tinkling laugh, its glow flickering with amusement. "Of course I can. All stars can talk here. You're in a special place now, Finn." "How do you know my name?" Finn asked, his voice filled with wonder. "We've been watching you for a long time," Lumen replied. "You've always looked up at the stars, dreaming of faraway places. The moon sent the staircase for you because it knew you were ready to see the magic beyond your world." Finn's heart raced with excitement. This wasn't just any adventure. This was something far greater. "Why did the moon send me here?" he asked, looking around at the floating islands and glowing stars. Lumen's glow dimmed slightly and the creature fluttered closer to Finn. "There's something wrong, Finn. The moon's light is fading, and if it goes out, the night will lose its magic. The dreams of all who sleep will wither and the stars will begin to dim too. That's why you're here. The moon believes you can help restore its light." Finn's eyes widened. "But I don't know how to do that." "Don't worry," Lumen said kindly. "I will guide you. Together we will find the way. There are many creatures in the land of stars who can help, but we must visit them quickly. Time is running out." Finn nodded, feeling both nervous and determined. He had no idea how to save the moon, but he wasn't going to turn back now. He had come this far, and he was ready to do whatever it took. The stars were counting on him. "Where do we go first?" Finn asked. Lumen fluttered around him, glowing a little brighter. "There's a path through the floating islands. It will lead us to the guardians of the night. They protect the stars, and they will know how to help us." With a soft hum, Lumen began to fly ahead, lighting the way. Finn followed, stepping onto the soft mist beneath his feet, the stars twinkling above him. He didn't know what challenges lay ahead, but with Lumen by his side, he felt ready for the adventure that awaited. As Finn followed Lumen across the misty path, the magical world around him unfolded with every step. The floating islands shimmered in the distance, some drifting gently in the air, while others hung still as if suspended by invisible threads. The air buzzed with quiet energy, and every now and then a soft gust of wind would send a cluster of glowing stars swirling past him like fireflies. "Where are the Guardians?" Finn asked, keeping pace with Lumen as the little star creature led the way. "They watch over the stars from their own island," Lumen replied, its voice soft yet clear in the still night. "They are ancient beings, as old as the stars themselves. It is their duty to keep the night sky bright and full of wonder." Finn felt a shiver of awe run through him. The idea that there were beings out there powerful enough to control the stars filled his heart with a mix of excitement and nervousness. "And they can help us save the moon." "I hope so," Lumen said, its glow flickering as if with worry. "But they may not know how to fix everything. Even they have never faced something like this before." Finn frowned. What's wrong with the moon exactly? Lumen paused, hovering beside Finn as they reached the edge of a floating island. Beyond it, a larger island loomed in the distance, glowing with a soft light. "The moon's light comes from dreams," Lumen explained. "When people dream, they send little bits of their imagination into the night, and that magic feeds the moon, keeping it bright. But lately, people have stopped dreaming as much. Their dreams are weaker, filled with fear or sadness, and the moon is fading because of it." Finn's heart sank. He had never realized that dreams were so important, not just for people, but for the moon and the stars too. So if people stop dreaming, the moon's light will disappear. "Yes," Lumen said, its voice barely a whisper. "And if the moon goes dark, the stars will start to fade too. The night will become an empty, cold place, and all the magic will be lost." Finn's chest tightened. He had always thought of dreams as just stories that played in his head while he slept. But now he understood. Dreams were more than that. They were a part of the world, of the night itself. As they reached the next island, Finn saw something remarkable. Standing at the centre of the island were 3 towering figures, their forms wrapped in shimmering cloaks that seemed to be made of pure starlight. Their eyes glowed softly, and their faces were calm but serious. These were the Guardians of the Night. Lumen floated forward, bowing slightly in respect. "Guardians, I bring Finn, a traveller from the world below. The moon has sent him to help." The tallest of the 3 Guardians stepped forward, their voice deep and gentle. "Welcome, Finn," they said, their glowing eyes fixed on him. "We have been watching the moon, and we sense its fading light. The night is growing weaker, and soon the stars may fall from the sky if the moon's glow cannot be restored." Finn swallowed hard. He could feel the weight of the situation now, the gravity of what he was being asked to do. "What can I do to help?" The second Guardian, shorter but no less imposing, spoke next. "The moon is fed by the dreams of those who sleep beneath it. But dreams are not as strong as they once were. Fear, doubt and sadness have clouded the minds of many, and their dreams no longer carry the magic needed to keep the moon bright." Lumen floated close to Finn, its light warm and reassuring. "We must find a way to bring back the power of dreams. If we can do that, the moon will shine again." The third Guardian, with a voice like a soft breeze, added, "But time is short. The moon's light dims with each passing night. Soon it will fade completely, and the stars will be left to fend for themselves in the darkness." Finn looked at the Guardians, then back at Lumen. He had come so far already, and now he was faced with a challenge bigger than anything he had ever imagined. But he couldn't turn back now. The moon, the stars, and even the dreams of everyone on Earth depended on him. "What do I need to do?" Finn asked, his voice steady despite the fear creeping into his chest. The tallest guardian raised a glowing hand, pointing to a distant island far beyond the others. "There is a place where dreams are born. It is called the Dreaming Sea, and within it lie the Dreamcatchers, ancient beings who protect the dreams of all who sleep. They can help restore the magic that feeds the moon, but the path is long and filled with challenges." Finn nodded, determination rising in his heart. "I'll go. I'll find the Dreamcatchers and save the moon." Lumen glowed brightly beside him. "I will guide you, Finn. Together we'll find a way." The guardians bowed their heads in gratitude. "May the stars light your path," they said in unison, their voices blending into the soft hum of the night. And with that, Finn set off with Lumen by his side, ready to journey deeper into the land of stars and find the Dreamcatchers. The fate of the moon, and all the dreams in the world, rested on his shoulders now. Finn journeyed further into the land of stars, following Lumen through a sky that shimmered with glowing clouds and sparkling constellations. The path was calm, but Finn could feel a weight pressing down on him, a reminder of the moon's fading light and the importance of the task ahead. They soon reached the edge of the misty path, where it widened into a large, open space. Floating above this vast sea of mist were thousands of delicate silver nets, each one woven with threads that glistened like morning dew. Beneath them hovered soft, gentle creatures with long, flowing tails and small, kind eyes. Their bodies sparkled faintly, like shadows mixed with starlight, and each one carried a soft, steady glow. These were the Dreamcatchers. Lumen whispered, "These creatures protect and guard dreams, guiding them safely through the night so they can reach those who need them. They capture hopes, fears, and stories woven deep in people's minds." One of the Dreamcatchers floated over to Finn, its tail trailing like silk, its presence calm and comforting. Its eyes, deep and wise, looked at him with a gentle sadness. "Hello, young traveller," it spoke softly, its voice like a soothing lullaby. "You come at a troubled time." Finn nodded, swallowing hard. "The moon sent me to help," he said, looking around at the nets full of shimmering, fragile dreams. "It's losing its light, and the guardians told me you might know how to bring it back." The Dreamcatcher's glow dimmed a little as it sighed. "Yes, we have felt the moon's light fading. With each night it grows harder for us to hold on to the dreams. They slip away or they come to us weakened, their magic fading before they can reach the moon." "What's causing this?" Finn asked, worry rising in his chest. "Why are the dreams fading?" Another Dreamcatcher drifted closer, its voice soft but firm. "Dreams are born from the hearts and minds of people, and they carry the strength of their hope, wonder, and imagination. But lately the dreams are filled with shadows, worries, fears, and doubts. They lack the brightness needed to feed the moon." Finn looked down, feeling the weight of what he was learning. He thought about his own dreams, the ones he'd had before climbing the staircase. Were they strong enough? Did they still have the magic the moon needed? The first Dreamcatcher reached out, brushing Finn's shoulder with a warm, gentle touch. "It is not too late. If you can find a way to remind people of the beauty and magic in dreams, their light will grow stronger. Then the moon's glow can return." "But how do I do that?" Finn asked, looking at Lumen, who hovered beside him, listening closely. "How do I make people dream again, in a way that can save the moon?" Lumen's light brightened as it turned to Finn. "We can gather dreams from the hearts of those who still believe, who still see the magic in the world around them. Children, artists, and all those who hold on to wonder. Their dreams are still strong." The Dreamcatchers nodded in agreement. "Yes, those dreams shine brightest, and they are enough to start restoring the moon's light. But there's more. We must also give hope to those whose dreams have dimmed. If we can bring light back to their dreams, the moon will grow even stronger." Finn felt a spark of hope inside him. He could gather these dreams, carry them to the moon, and help give others the light they needed to dream again. "Where do I find these dreams?" he asked, his voice steady with determination. The Dreamcatcher's eyes twinkled with a warm light. "We will show you the way, but it will not be easy. Some dreams are hidden, locked away by sadness or fear. You must help guide them, show them the wonder of the world beyond their worries." Lumen floated closer, nudging Finn with a reassuring glow. "We'll go together, Finn. You have the courage to make a difference, and with the Dreamcatchers by our side, we can restore the moon's light." The Dreamcatchers raised their silvery nets, casting them into the misty sky. As the nets floated higher, they began to gather faint glows, tiny twinkling lights that drifted in from all directions. These were the dreams of those who still believed, who held on to their wonder despite the world's worries. One by one, the Dreamcatchers handed the nets to Finn. He could feel the warmth of each dream, a gentle, pulsing energy that filled him with a sense of hope and wonder. They were fragile but bright, like small stars in his hands. "Take these dreams to the moon," one of the Dreamcatchers said softly, their voice full of quiet encouragement. "And remember, even the smallest light can grow strong in the darkness." Finn nodded, his heart full of determination. He held the nets carefully, each one carrying the hopes and dreams of those who still believed. With Lumen beside him, he turned toward the path ahead, ready to continue his journey to the moon, ready to restore its light. And as he stepped forward, the Dreamcatchers watched him go, their gentle glows lighting up the misty night, silently cheering him on. With the Guardian's blessing and the mission clear, Finn knew what had to be done. The Dreamcatchers had given him the knowledge he needed, but now the hardest part remained, reaching the moon itself. As he stood on the edge of the floating island, looking out at the distant glow of the moon, Finn felt both excited and nervous. "The moon is just ahead," Lumen said, floating by his side. "But the path won't be easy. The moon sprites will try to stop us." Finn glanced at Lumen, his brow furrowed. "Moon sprites, who are they?" Lumen dimmed slightly as it explained. "The moon sprites are tricky little creatures. They live on the moon and play mischief on anyone who tries to get too close. They don't want the moon's secrets to be uncovered. If they catch us, they'll trap us in their endless games, and we'll never reach the Moonkeeper." Finn clenched his fists. He wasn't about to let anything stop him, not now. He had come too far. "We'll get past them. I won't let them stop me." Lumen glowed brighter, reassured by Finn's determination. "Stay close to me, Finn. The moon sprites are clever, but we can outsmart them." Together they started down the shimmering path toward the moon. The misty ground beneath their feet felt soft, as if the air itself was holding them up, and the stars around them twinkled like a sea of fireflies. The moon glowed ahead, growing larger with each step. Finn's heart pounded, not just from the excitement of the journey, but from the challenge that awaited them. As they drew closer to the moon, the air changed. A soft, silvery wind began to swirl around them, and Finn could feel the magic in it, light and playful, yet tinged with something mischievous. Lumen flickered beside him, its wings fluttering nervously. "They're here," it whispered. Before Finn could ask what Lumen meant, a high-pitched giggle echoed through the air, then another. Finn froze, looking around, but saw nothing. More laughter, closer this time. His skin prickled with unease. Suddenly, out of the mist, small, glowing shapes zipped through the air. The moon sprites had arrived. They were tiny creatures, no bigger than Finn's hand, with silvery skin that shimmered like stardust. Their eyes sparkled with mischief, and their wings flapped quickly, making them dart through the air like quick flashes of light. They zipped around Finn and Lumen, giggling and chattering in high-pitched voices. "Look, a traveller!" one of the sprites sang, its voice full of glee. "Trying to reach the moon? How silly!" another chimed in, circling Finn's head. "Come play with us!" one of them squeaked, tugging at Finn's sleeve. Finn swatted at the sprite, but it dodged his hand easily, laughing as it flew away. More sprites appeared, surrounding him and Lumen, their giggles growing louder. They tugged at Finn's clothes, pulled at his hair, and zipped around him in dizzying circles. Every time Finn tried to move forward, the sprites blocked his way, pushing him back with playful shoves. Lumen flared brightly, trying to ward them off. "Leave us alone, we have important work to do." But the moon sprites only laughed harder. "Important work? On the moon? No, 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 you must play with us first," one sprite sang, grabbing hold of Lumen's wings and pulling it downward. Finn gritted his teeth. He couldn't let them slow him down, not now. He swiped at the sprites again, but they darted away, too fast for him to catch. "Lumen, what do we do?" he asked, his frustration growing. Lumen fluttered out of the sprite's grasp, its glow flickering as it floated beside Finn. "We have to outsmart them," Lumen said quickly. "The sprites love games, but they hate to lose. If we challenge them to a game and win, they'll have to let us go." Finn thought for a moment, then nodded. "All right, let's play." He turned to the swirling group of sprites and called out, "We'll play a game with you. But if we win, you have to let us pass and leave us alone." The sprites paused, hovering in the air, their eyes glittering with interest. "A game," one of them said, tilting its head. "What kind of game?" Finn smiled, feeling a spark of confidence. "A race. If I can outrun all of you to the moon, we win." The sprites huddled together, whispering and giggling among themselves. Finally, the lead sprite, a tiny creature with wings that shimmered like silver rain, floated forward. "All right, traveller," it said, its voice full of mischief. "We accept your challenge, but no tricks." "No tricks," Finn promised. The sprites scattered, giving Finn and Lumen space. "On your mark, get set, go!" the lead sprite shouted. Finn took off running, his legs pumping hard as he sprinted toward the moon. The sprites zoomed around him, their laughter filling the air as they tried to block his way, but Finn was quick. He dodged and weaved, slipping past the sprites each time they tried to catch him. Lumen flew just ahead, guiding him through the twisting path, its light shining brightly to show the way. The sprites squealed with frustration as Finn gained ground. No matter how fast they flew or how hard they tried to slow him down, Finn was always one step ahead. His heart pounded and his lungs burned, but he didn't stop. He could see the moon now, glowing brighter and closer with every step. With one final burst of speed, Finn crossed the finish line, his feet touching the edge of the moon's glowing surface. The sprites, panting and out of breath, floated behind him, their wings drooping. "You win," the lead sprite said, pouting, "but you're no fun." Finn grinned, his chest heaving. "A deal's a deal, you have to let us pass now." The sprite sighed but nodded. All right, you can pass, but next time you'll have to play a game we choose." With that, they darted away, disappearing into the night with giggles trailing behind them. Finn collapsed onto the moon's surface, breathing hard but grinning. Lumen fluttered beside him, glowing brightly. "You did it, Finn! You outsmarted the sprites!" Finn laughed, still catching his breath. That was close. As he sat there, looking up at the glowing moon, he felt a surge of pride. He had made it this far, and now the real challenge lay ahead. The Moonkeeper was waiting, and with Lumen by his side, Finn was ready to face whatever came next. Finn stood on the glowing surface of the moon, catching his breath after outsmarting the moon sprites. The moon wasn't cold like he had imagined. It felt warm, almost like it was alive, pulsing gently beneath his feet. All around him, a soft light bathed everything in a silvery glow. It was quiet, peaceful, and yet Finn could feel something was wrong. The light wasn't as bright as it had been before, and there was a strange heaviness in the air. "Come on, Finn," Lumen said, floating beside him. "The Moonkeeper is waiting for us." Finn nodded, his heart pounding not just from the race, but from the thought of what lay ahead. He followed Lumen across the moon's surface, each step taking him deeper into its glowing heart. The air shimmered with magic, but it felt fragile, like it could slip away at any moment. After what felt like hours, they reached a great silver archway that seemed to grow out of the moon itself. It led to a vast chamber glowing with a soft, fading light. At the center of the chamber, sitting on a throne made of moonlight, was the Moonkeeper. The Moonkeeper was unlike anything Finn had ever seen. They were tall, with flowing robes that sparkled like the night sky. Their face was old but kind, and their eyes glowed with a soft, silvery light. Around them, the air shimmered with the same gentle glow that surrounded the moon, but it flickered, weak and fading. "Welcome, young traveller," the Moonkeeper said in a voice that seemed to echo softly through the chamber. "I have been expecting you." Finn stepped forward, feeling small in the presence of the ancient being. "I came to help," he said, his voice steady despite the awe he felt. "The moon is losing its light, and I want to fix it. What can I do?" The Moonkeeper's glowing eyes rested on Finn for a long moment, as if weighing his words. Then, with a gentle sigh, they stood up from the throne and walked toward him, their footsteps silent on the glowing ground. "The moon's light is not just a light," the Moonkeeper explained. "It is the reflection of the dreams of those who sleep beneath it. For centuries, people have dreamed, and their dreams have fed the moon, keeping it bright and strong. But lately, something has changed. People's dreams are filled with worry, with fear, and with doubt. Their dreams are no longer strong enough to sustain the moon's light." Finn listened carefully, his heart sinking as the Moonkeeper spoke. "So the moon is fading because people aren't dreaming the way they used to?" The Moonkeeper nodded, their face sad. "Yes, without the magic of dreams, the moon cannot shine as it once did. The stars too will begin to lose their light if the moon fades completely." Lumen floated beside Finn, its light dimmer now, as if the weight of the Moonkeeper's words was affecting it too. "Is there any way to bring the moon's light back?" Lumen asked, its voice soft with concern. The Moonkeeper turned and looked up at the darkening sky. "There is only one way. People must dream again, truly dream with hope and wonder. Dreams are the source of the moon's magic. Without them, the night will lose its glow." Finn felt a pang of worry. How could he make people dream again? He was just a boy, after all. "But how do we fix it?" he asked. "I can't make people dream." The Moonkeeper smiled gently, their eyes filled with kindness. "You cannot force dreams, Finn, but you can remind people of the magic within them. Dreams come from the heart, from the hopes and wishes of those who dare to imagine something more. If people remember how to dream, the moon will shine again." Finn thought for a moment, his mind racing. He had never realized how important dreams were, not just for people, but for the world itself. "How do I remind people?" he asked, feeling the weight of the task before him. "There is a place," the Moonkeeper said, their voice low. "It is called the Dreaming Tree, deep within the land of stars. Its roots are woven with the dreams of every person on Earth. If you can reach the Dreaming Tree and awaken it, the power of dreams will flow through the night again, and the moon will regain its light." Lumen's glow brightened slightly. "The Dreaming Tree, I've heard of it, but it's guarded by the Dreamkeepers, isn't it?" The Moonkeeper nodded. "Yes, the Dreamkeepers protect the tree and only allow those who are pure of heart to awaken it. The journey will not be easy, but I believe in you, Finn. You have the heart of a dreamer." Finn stood tall, determination flooding through him. He had already come this far, and he wasn't about to give up now. The moon, the stars, and all the dreams of the world were at stake. "I'll find the Dreaming Tree," he said firmly. "I'll wake it up and the moon will shine again." The Moonkeeper smiled, their eyes glowing softly. "Thank you, Finn. The night will be forever grateful." With the Moonkeeper's blessing, Finn turned to Lumen. "Let's go. We have a Dreaming Tree to find." And with that, they set off, leaving the fading moon behind, ready to face the next challenge. The path was uncertain, but Finn knew one thing for sure. He was ready to bring the magic of dreams back to the world. Finn and Lumen journeyed away from the moon, their hearts set on the task ahead. The sky around them seemed darker, with fewer stars twinkling as they once had. Every now and then, Finn would glance back at the moon, noticing how its once bright, silvery glow had dimmed even further. Time was running out. The dreaming tree had to be found, and Finn had to rekindle the magic of dreams before it was too late. "How do we gather dreams from people?" Finn asked as they travelled across the glowing mist that made up the land of stars. "I can't exactly reach into someone's mind and pull out their dreams." Lumen floated ahead, its light flickering thoughtfully. "Dreams aren't something you can just take, Finn. People have to give them willingly. They have to believe in them again like they did when they were children. That's what keeps the moon bright, those pure, hopeful dreams." Finn nodded, understanding but still unsure of how to go about it. "So where do we start?" Lumen's wings fluttered as it spoke. "There's a way. The Dreamcatchers can help. They're the ones who collect and protect dreams each night. If anyone can help you gather dreams from all across the world, it's them." "Where do we find them?" Finn asked, his curiosity piqued. Lumen pointed toward the distant stars where a cluster of glowing lights hovered in the distance. "They live in the Dreaming Valley, just beyond that ridge. They guard the dreams as they float up from the sleeping world, making sure none are lost." With a renewed sense of purpose, Finn and Lumen hurried toward the Dreaming Valley. The air around them seemed to shimmer with a soft hum, as if the very night was waiting for their next move. As they approached the valley, Finn saw something breathtaking. The valley stretched out before them, filled with floating orbs of light, thousands of them gently drifting like glowing bubbles. Each orb held a dream, Finn realized, and they twinkled softly as they floated through the air. Some dreams were bright and full of color, others dim and barely glowing. It was a beautiful sight, but there was something sad about it too. So many dreams were fading, their light weak and flickering. At the center of the valley stood the Dreamcatchers, tall, graceful figures with long, flowing robes made of stardust. Their faces were calm, and they moved slowly through the air, gently guiding the dream orbs, making sure none were lost. Lumen flew ahead, greeting them. "Dreamcatchers, we've come for your help." One of the Dreamcatchers floated toward them, its face glowing softly with a wise, gentle light. "We know why you've come," it said, its voice like a soft breeze. "The moon is fading and dreams are growing weaker. We have been watching." Finn stepped forward, feeling the weight of their task more than ever. "How can we gather enough dreams to bring back the moon's light? People aren't dreaming like they used to." The Dreamcatcher looked at Finn with kind, glowing eyes. "Dreams are still being born, but they lack the strength they once had. Fear, doubt, and sadness have clouded people's hearts, and their dreams are fading because of it. To restore the moon's light, you must remind people of the magic of dreaming." "But how?" Finn asked, feeling overwhelmed by the enormity of the task. "I don't know how to make people believe in dreams again." The Dreamcatcher smiled gently. "You cannot force belief, Finn, but you can inspire it. You must travel across the world into the hearts of those who have forgotten the power of dreams. Speak to them, remind them of the wonders they once believed in. The dreams will come, and we will catch them." Finn nodded, determination rising within him. It wasn't about collecting dreams like treasures. It was about helping people believe in the magic of their own imaginations. "Where do we start?" he asked. The Dreamcatcher waved its hand, and the air around them shimmered with light. "We will guide you. With our help, you can reach the dreamers, no matter where they are in the world." And so the journey began. With Lumen by his side and the Dreamcatchers guiding him, Finn travelled through the night, his footsteps light on the shimmering mist. Together they visited the sleeping world below, moving from place to place, reaching into the hearts of those who had forgotten how to dream. They visited a lonely child whose dreams had grown dark with fear. Finn sat by his bedside, whispering stories of adventure and wonder, and soon the child's dreams began to glow bright again, full of hope and imagination. Next, they found a young woman, her heart heavy with doubt and worry. Finn reminded her of the dreams she had once had as a child, the dreams of flying, of exploring distant lands. Slowly, her dreams returned, flickering back to life like a candle being relit. In every place they went, Finn spoke to the dreamers, reminding them of the magic within themselves. And with every dream that was reignited, the Dreamcatchers gently caught the glowing orbs, carrying them safely into the night sky. As the night wore on, Finn began to feel a change in the air. The stars around him seemed to twinkle brighter, and when he glanced up at the moon, he saw it glowing just a little stronger than before. It wasn't fully restored yet, but the light was coming back bit by bit. "We're doing it," Finn whispered to Lumen, his heart filled with hope. Lumen glowed brightly, its wings fluttering with excitement. "The moon's light is returning. Keep going, Finn, we're almost there." With renewed energy, Finn and Lumen continued their journey, gathering dreams from every corner of the world. The Dreamcatchers moved swiftly, catching each dream as it rose into the night, their gentle hands guiding the orbs of light toward the moon. And slowly, as the dreams began to flow freely once more, the moon's glow returned. The night sky grew brighter, the stars twinkling with renewed magic. Finn could feel it in the air, the power of dreams, the magic of hope and imagination filling the world again. But their journey wasn't over yet. There was still more to be done, and Finn knew that the final challenge lay ahead. The dreaming tree waited, and only by awakening it could they fully restore the moon's light. As Finn and Lumen travelled through the sleeping world, something incredible began to happen. The moon, once dim and pale, started to glow brighter with every dream they gathered. Each time a dreamer rediscovered their belief in the magic of dreams, a piece of that light returned to the night sky. The stars, too, began to twinkle more brightly, as if rejoicing in the moon's slow recovery. The silvery mist that swirled around the land of stars became more vibrant, the floating islands more vivid and full of life. Finn could feel the change, as though the whole universe was beginning to hum with the magic of dreams once more. "Look, Finn," Lumen said, its light flickering excitedly. "The stars! They're brighter than they've been in ages." Finn glanced up at the sky and saw it for himself. The once dim stars now sparkled like tiny lanterns hanging in the sky, their light clearer and sharper than before. The moon above, still not fully restored, had grown stronger, its glow no longer weak and fading, but rich and steady. Finn felt a wave of hope surge through him. "It's working," he whispered, feeling the truth of it deep in his heart. The dreams they had gathered were restoring the magic of the night, bit by bit, and soon the moon would be fully healed. But there was still more to do. "We need to wake the dreaming tree," Lumen reminded him, its voice gentle but urgent. "Only then will the moon's light be fully restored." Finn nodded, his determination renewed. They had come so far, and the night sky was almost back to its former glory. But the dreaming tree held the final key to unlocking the full power of dreams. Without it, the moon's light would remain incomplete. "Where is the dreaming tree?" Finn asked, looking around at the floating islands. Lumen pointed to a distant glow at the very edge of the land of stars, beyond where the mist swirled the thickest. There, at the edge of the sky, the dreaming tree lies hidden in the mist, guarded by the Dreamkeepers. Finn's heart raced. The Dreamkeepers were ancient and powerful beings, protectors of the most sacred part of the night. If anyone could help awaken the dreaming tree, it was them. But Finn knew they would not let him pass easily. "They'll want to test you," Lumen said, as if reading Finn's thoughts. "The Dreamkeepers only allow those who are truly worthy to touch the dreaming tree. But I believe in you, Finn. You've already shown the world what it means to dream again." Finn took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the journey ahead. But he wasn't afraid. He had travelled far, faced the mischievous moon sprites, gathered dreams from all over the world, and now stood on the brink of restoring the moon's light. With Lumen by his side, Finn made his way toward the glowing mist at the edge of the land of stars. The path became more difficult the closer they got, the air growing thicker with magic. The mist swirled around them, and Finn could feel the power of the dreaming tree even from a distance. Finally, they reached the edge of the mist, where a great glowing tree stood tall and proud. Its branches stretched into the sky, shimmering with the light of countless dreams. At the base of the tree, 3 figures stood, their robes made of starlight, their eyes glowing softly in the night. The Dreamkeepers. Finn approached them cautiously, his heart pounding. The Dreamkeepers were silent, their glowing eyes watching him with quiet intensity. Finally, one of them stepped forward, their voice soft but powerful. "Why have you come, young traveller?" the Dreamkeeper asked, their voice echoing like a breeze through the stars. Finn stood tall, his voice steady. "I've come to awaken the dreaming tree and restore the moon's light. The dreams of the world are fading, and without the tree's power, the moon will never shine as it once did." The Dreamkeeper studied him for a long moment before speaking again. "The dreaming tree is the heart of all dreams. It is not easily awakened. Only those with a pure heart and the courage to believe in the power of dreams may touch its roots." "I believe," Finn said firmly. "I've seen what dreams can do. I've helped people remember how to dream again, and I know the magic that lives inside each one. I'll do whatever it takes to restore the moon's light." The Dreamkeepers exchanged a glance, their glowing eyes softening. "Very well," the lead Dreamkeeper said. "We will allow you to try. But be warned, awakening the dreaming tree requires more than just belief. It requires the strength to hold on to your dreams, even in the face of doubt." Finn nodded, understanding the gravity of the task. He stepped forward, approaching the base of the dreaming tree. The air around it was thick with magic, and Finn could feel the dreams swirling within its roots, waiting to be released. He reached out, his hand trembling slightly, and touched the glowing bark. For a moment, nothing happened. Then slowly the tree began to pulse with light, the dreams within it stirring as if waking from a long sleep. Finn closed his eyes, focusing on all the dreams he had gathered, all the people who had remembered the magic of dreaming. He thought of the moon, glowing bright once more, and the stars shining in the night sky. The light from the tree grew brighter, spreading out across the valley, filling the night with a warm, gentle glow. Finn could feel it, the power of dreams returning to the world stronger than ever before. Suddenly, the moon above them flared with light, its glow so bright that it lit up the entire sky. The stars twinkled more brilliantly than ever, their light dancing in the night. The moon's light was restored. Finn stepped back, watching in awe as the dreaming tree pulsed with magic, its branches stretching high into the night. The Dreamkeepers bowed their heads in gratitude. "You have done well, young traveller," the lead Dreamkeeper said, their voice filled with warmth. "The moon's light has returned and the power of dreams has been restored. The night will shine brightly once more thanks to you." Finn smiled, his heart full of pride and relief. The moon glowed above, strong and steady, its light bathing the world in soft silver. The night sky sparkled with new life, the stars shining brighter than ever, and the moon glowing with a steady, silvery light that filled the land of stars. Finn stood at the base of the dreaming tree, watching as its roots pulsed gently with the magic of dreams, their power flowing out into the night. The Dreamkeepers bowed their heads in respect, their glowing eyes full of gratitude. "You have restored the moon's light," the lead Dreamkeeper said, their voice calm and filled with warmth. "The dreams of the world are safe, and the stars will shine brightly once more. You have done something truly extraordinary, Finn." Finn smiled, feeling a sense of pride swell in his chest. The journey had been long and filled with challenges, but he had done it. He had saved the moon and restored the magic of dreams. The weight of the task, which had felt so heavy before, now lifted from his shoulders. Lumen fluttered beside him, its wings glowing brighter than ever. "You did it, Finn," it said, its voice bubbling with excitement. "The moon is brighter than it's ever been, and it's all thanks to you." Finn looked up at the glowing moon, feeling a wave of contentment wash over him. The light bathed the land of stars in its gentle glow, and the stars twinkled like tiny lanterns dancing in the sky. It was beautiful, more beautiful than anything Finn had ever seen. But now it was time to go home. "I guess it's time to say goodbye," Finn said softly, turning to Lumen. The little star creature hovered beside him, its light flickering with a hint of sadness. "I'll miss you, Finn," Lumen said, its voice quieter now. "But you've done what you came here to do. The moon's light is restored, and the dreams of the world are safe again." Finn knelt down, reaching out to touch Lumen's tiny hand. "I'll miss you too, Lumen. I couldn't have done any of this without you." Lumen's glow brightened, a warm flicker of pride in its small body. "You've always had the heart of a dreamer, Finn, remember that. And don't forget, dreams are what keep the world bright. Never stop believing in them." Finn nodded, his chest tightening at the thought of leaving. But he knew it was time. He had a home to return to, a life waiting for him beneath the night sky. And though he would miss the land of stars and the magical creatures he had met, he would carry their lessons with him forever. With one final look at the dreaming tree and the glowing moon above, Finn turned to the shimmering staircase that had first brought him to this magical world. It stretched out before him, glowing softly in the night, leading back down to the world he had left behind. "Goodbye, Finn," the Dreamkeepers said in unison, their voices gentle. "The night will always remember your kindness." Finn smiled, waving to them as he took the first step onto the shimmering staircase. Lumen hovered beside him for a moment longer, watching as Finn began his descent. "Take care, Finn," Lumen said, its voice soft. "And remember, dreams have no limits." With that, Lumen fluttered away, joining the stars in the sky, its glowing wings blending into the night. Finn continued down the staircase, each step taking him closer to home. The land of stars grew smaller behind him, but the warmth of the moon's light and the twinkling stars stayed with him. The journey had changed him, and as he descended, Finn felt a new understanding deep in his heart. Dreams weren't just stories or fleeting thoughts, they were powerful, magical forces that shaped the world. As he neared the bottom of the staircase, the familiar sight of his village came into view. The houses were still, the streets quiet, and the night air cool against his skin. He could see his home just as he had left it, peaceful and safe under the light of the newly restored moon. Finn stepped off the final step of the shimmering staircase, his feet touching the soft grass of his backyard. The glowing stairs faded behind him, disappearing into the night, but the memory of them remained clear in his mind. He looked up at the sky one last time. The moon smiled down at him, bright and full, its light a reminder of the magic that lived within every dream. Finn smiled back, feeling a deep sense of peace. With a soft sigh, he turned toward his house. The world around him felt different now, but not in a way that was scary or strange. It was filled with possibility, with hope, and with the quiet magic that came from believing in something bigger than yourself. Finn slipped back into his house, careful not to wake his parents, and crawled into bed. As he pulled the covers up around him, he closed his eyes, feeling the soft glow of the moon's light through the window. And that night Finn dreamed of stars, of moonlight, of shimmering staircases and glowing trees. His heart was full of wonder, and he knew deep down that the magic of dreams would always be a part of him.